Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are we all doing on this Friday morning? This is Reganelite here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning with myself, Reganelite, here on Friday, the 13th of February 2026. Just hit 11 o'clock in the morning UK time. We are dual streaming live on youtube.com/Reganelite and on twitch.tv/Reganelite1. If you're on Twitch, please feel free to hit that follow button and hit that bell notification icon for next time when I go live, which won't be for a while, but if you have it on, at least you'll know when I go live, guys, on there. If you're on YouTube, consider hitting that like, share, and subscribe button. Also, hitting the bell notification icon so you'll be notified not just when I go live, but when another video gets uploaded, just for reference there. For those who are new to this live stream, what we normally do, we go roughly for about an hour. At about 12 o'clock, that's when we normally stop. We look at today's daily quote, which we will get to in a moment. We'll have a look at the weather forecast that's going to be happening over the next few days. And then we'll have a look at see what some of the web pages are saying, what the media's kind of saying in there. Not so much the papers, but more the headlines and stories that they have in going on with them. So, for example, the Associated Press, Guardian, Al Jazeera, The Times, BBC, that kind of stuff. So we go to their websites and we see what stories they have for us. Some we can actually go into and some we won't be able to go to, just for reference there. Before I get into the big news that I did see drop before I went live literally 10 minutes ago, which QA Library has just posted there, about last night. So guys, yesterday I was fine. I was totally fine. I messaged Pagan at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon to say, are we still good for tonight? And he messaged me a couple of hours later. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I had a really, really bad migraine. And sometimes I can really just, get past it, guys. I can normally just kind of power through it. But this one was really, really bad. And I don't know what it was. You guys might have noticed yesterday when we were live streaming in the morning, you noticed that my stomach was rumbling. I don't know if it, almost as if it's saying I haven't been eating enough food, which is kind of weird because I always have cereal in the morning. And I don't know, maybe I didn't have enough at lunchtime. Maybe I didn't have enough snacks. I don't know what it was. But apparently, I didn't eat enough food, apparently, according to my... I think that's what it is that caused the migraine, because I know I've been drinking lots of water, because that's one of the reasons why my blood donation didn't go as planned last week. So yeah. So I made the conscious decision about 6:30 to kind of like, you know what, I don't think it'd be in my best interest and your best interest to me be there to go ahead with the live stream. So I'm going to try, not next week obviously because I'm away on the holiday, but the following week I'm going to see if I can get Pagan to do a show with me, either a Tuesday or Wednesday, if possible. I'll message him and see if we can rearrange it, because I still want to do EcoFlake show this month. It's just going to be a bit I can't do it on Thursday because on Thursday when I come back on the 26th, because that's when we'll have the round table with myself, Van Man Talks, Mikey Famine, and Daily Blase. So I won't be able to do it then. So I'll see if we can do the EcoFlake show on Wednesday. So I'll see if he's available. If not, for there as well. Let me just come to say hello in the chat as well. There's a couple of things obviously I need to talk about as well. Billy Kershaw, good to see you there. Stephen Banker, one of our moderators, good to see you there. Christina, good morning to you. Darling King, good morning to you. Rosemary, good morning to you. Wee Bud, good morning. Viper Scott, good morning to you, one of our moderators. Hope you are doing well. Mel, good morning to you. Scott Hayes there, good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. QA Library, good morning to you. I'll come to that story in a moment, my friend. Give me a second. I hope you are doing well. What else is there? Oh, thank you for the £2 super chat, Viper Scott. All hail the Ducks. All hail the Penguins. All hail Ollie. All hail Ollie indeed. All hail Ollie indeed. Ollie. All hail Ollie indeed. All hail Ollie indeed. Where is the duck? Well, we're gonna talk about that in just a moment as well. Need to get that story in. Yeah, I know Viper Scott. I'll come to that in a moment. I think that's everyone I can see in the chat. And Charlie in Twitch, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Right. So, guys, today, before the end of this live stream, if you guys haven't got a chance, please cast your vote. We have to the end of this live stream, and then whatever the result is going to be, that's what it's going to be. It looks like we're going to be calling our new mascot, Quackers, from the polling from what I've last seen, guys. But you have till the end of this live stream to cast your vote, because we're going to make a decision at the end of the show, guys. So please cast your vote, because we do, if you believe in democracy, cast your vote. So you got to the end of this live stream, guys. Please cast your vote if you get a chance to do so. It would be greatly appreciated there. Oh, Indy Scott Brian, good to see you there. I hope you are doing well. Channel Fun's great show as always. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's really, really helpful. That, you know, because obviously next week there's not going to be any live streams at all, guys. So, you know, thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate it, of course. So yes, the big story, of course, I will go to the daily quote and weather, but let's just go straight to that story that's literally been broken in the last few minutes. I just want to literally just briefly touch on it before we get to the usual stuff, guys. So obviously the big story, of course, is the High Court has ruled the ban on Palestine action is unlawful, and it always was unlawful. I'm so glad the High Court has said this. It was a terrible decision by Yvette Cooper, the Home Secretary at the time, to do this. It was a terrible decision by this Labour government. They did it deliberately and intentionally for their Israeli masters, to appease them and to suppress voices speaking out about what's happening in the Middle East and what's happening in Gaza specifically. That was the only reason they did this. The only reason. Their decision to proclaim them as a terrorist organization simply on the basis that they cause damage to property is ridiculous. Yes, in terms of the realm of the UK law and on UK law itself. Yes, in terms of how the law is interpreted in terms of what is defined as terrorism, one of them is, of course, damage to property and whatnot. But the vast majority of them states that obviously that in terms of prescribing the terrorism is, of course, you know, killing people, destruction, killing people and causing literal terrorism, and that's not what Palestine Action are, in my view. But obviously, of course, what happens here is obviously going to be a lot. What's going to happen here, obviously. Now, I'm not going to shout at the top of my lungs about Palestine Action, because, of course, I still need to be very careful, because we've seen our friends, unfortunately, face consequences for that. However, I do agree with this decision by the High Courts. How the government is going to respond is going to be interesting. And it already says, and you can already see it there, the government says they will appeal the decision. There, and I think the argument that they're going to make is, again, they're going to go back to that position of, in the definition of terrorism, that in terms of property to damage and whatnot, that's where they're going to try and make that argument there, from the looks of it there. So yes, the prescription of Palestine Action is disproportionate, the judges has ruled. And you have to remember as well, it's really, really important context to add this. This was the way this was put through in Parliament was this group was shoved in with other known groups that were considered terrorisms and dangerous, and rather than having a separate vote on Palestine Action in Parliament and prescribing them, they literally shoved them with other groups that were, and that's not right, because I don't believe them to be in the same way there. So the two Davies will get their charges quashed now. Hopefully Westminster will not appeal this. They are going to appeal this, Viper Scott, but we obviously. So I think we need to see what's going to happen in terms of the appeal, how that's going to go. This battle is not over, but this battle is not over. It's a big moment. It's a big moment. The battle is not over, because obviously the government are going to appeal. It's when the government fails the appeal, that's when we can kind of breathe a sigh of relief. That's when the moment we can say it's okay. Until then, let's not. Let's just. I would say just stick to kind of what we've already been saying about it, just to be careful, because of course, even though the High Court has ruled it, the government is still going to appeal it. So we need to kind of see how the appeal goes as well. So I just want to say it's not over yet. Yes, because the government are going to appeal it. It's not over yet. We'll have a look a little bit more into it in a moment, guys. So let's get to the usual stuff, because I know people wanted to talk about that, and I've literally just dropped a bunch of papers on the floor, didn't I? Sausages. Right, here is today's daily quota for today I'll do tomorrow and Sunday, guys, for you guys. Obviously, I'll just say this. If you guys want to know the daily quota for Monday to Friday, you're going to have to follow me on my social medias. I will still post them while I'm on holiday on Discord in the usual spot. So if you guys want to know them, you can check them out here. So there is today's daily quote here from Zig Ziglar again. Zig Ziglar then for today. So here is today's daily quote. Sometimes someone comes into your life so unexpectedly, takes your heart by surprise, and changes your life forever. So sometimes someone comes into your life so unexpectedly and takes your heart by surprise and changes your life forever. That is a lovely one. That's a very nice one, isn't it? It is true that some people come into your life unexpectedly and all of a sudden it turns your life upside down. But sometimes it can be for the good or the bad. It all depends. So what is Valentine's Day quote, guys? What is Valentine's Day quote? So here is tomorrow's Valentine's Day quote for reference here. Nat King Cole there. Here is tomorrow's Valentine's Day quote. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is to be loved. I screwed that up already, didn't I? Sausages. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is to love and be loved in return. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is to be loved. I screwed it up again, didn't I? I keep screwing it up. God damn it. Right, one more time. I'm going to say it one more time and I'm going to do it. Right. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is to love and be loved in return. There. I'm not saying it again. There you go. I'm not saying it again. Keep screwing up. Right, and let me finally do Sunday's one and then we'll get to the weather, guys. So here is Sunday's daily quote. Here is Sunday's daily quote for George Adair. I think it's George Adair there. I think it's George's one there, if I said that right. It is. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. That's a very powerful one. That is a very powerful one. Like I said, if you guys want to know the daily quotes for the rest of the week, while I'm away on holiday, you can follow me on any of my socials. Or you can just, if you join the Discord, there's a daily quota which I post in every morning. That's something I do literally, almost like religiously, like when I brush my teeth and whatnot. Just for reference there, guys. Before we get to the weather, I just want to say thank you, Viper Scott, for the 5 gifted memberships there to Jane Lockwood, Craig Guardsman, Roger Devine, Shana, and Cathro OG have all been gifted memberships there. Thank you so much for your support. That's very, very kind of you there. 5 of them this week found not guilty. Found not guilty, says Viper Scott. Thank you so much for that. It's very, very kind of you, Viper Scott. Appreciate it. Right, let's keep going because we only got an hour, so I want to try and get through as much as we can in the time we have. So here is the weather, guys. The big, beautiful planet. Not going to be giving you the weather report next week, guys. You're going to have to figure it out for yourself, guys. That's not good. Joking, of course, guys. Joking. Here is North America, guys. Anchorage there over in Alaska at -8. Yellowknife, very, very cold at -18. Churchill, -19 there in Canada. Winnipeg at -6. Vancouver, 7. Ottawa, -7. New York, 3. Chicago, a bit more warmer at 8 degrees there. Nashville, 13. Denver, 11. San Francisco at 13 degrees. San Diego there at 18 degrees. Miami, a nice warm, toasty 25 degrees with New Orleans dropping to 19. Mexico City at 22, as well as Guantanamo City, and San Jose at 24 degrees. And Kingston, a very nice, warm 29 degrees. On the South American continent here, temperatures are as high as 30, 32 in Rio de Janeiro at the moment there. La Paz there at 13 degrees there, and so various temperatures there. Lima at 27, with plenty of tropical rainstorms you can see there from the weather patterns there as well. And as always, very nice temperatures there. What's that? Stephen Banker, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships to Furbarbo, Gary Sanderman, Alex Adams, Russex67, and Jolie have all been gifted memberships there. Thank you, Stephen Banker, for the gifted memberships. I really appreciate it. That's very, very kind of you there. And hello, Benjamin. Hope you are doing well. Good to see you there. If I've missed anybody in the chat, I do apologise. Hopefully I do catch everyone who does say hello in the chats. Thank you again, Stephen. That's very, very kind of you. Africa here, we've got, again, not a lot of showers, but that's unfortunately normal. Lagos 29, Kigishka 29, Cape Town at 20 there. So some temperatures as high as 32 in some parts. Dhaka 23 there. Khartoum at 31 degrees there. It's gone a bit further over to New Zealand, 21 and 16 degrees. Auckland, Wellington, respectfully there. In Australia, Brisbane 22, Melbourne at 13 there. Perth at 21, Alice Springs 20, Darwin at 26 degrees. Port Vila at 25. Some of those names I cannot say. Singapore at 26 degrees. Philippines there at 25 degrees, and some very warm and wet, very warm temperatures and very wet weather, which is kind of the norm around those parts of the world at the moment at this time of the year. Tokyo at 4 degrees there. Looks like it's just a nice dry day on the island of Japan there. Taiwan there 18, Beijing 1 degree, sorry. Shanghai at 12 degrees there. New Delhi 14. Going a bit over. Tehran is at 14 degrees. Kuwait City 19. Riyadh 25. Cairo 23. Baghdad 21 in parts of the Middle East. There. Just waiting for it to load up a little bit. Zoom in a little bit. We've got this. This is what we're experiencing in Europe right now. Madrid 9, Lisbon 12. France getting their fair share of rain and snowstorms, as well as parts of Spain getting their bit with a few shades of snowstorms in the north of the country, as well in the south. Tripoli 20, Tunis 16, Algiers 15 there. Rome 13, Palmelo 11, Nice 11 there. Bern 6 degrees there on the Swiss Alps. Zagreb 10, Tiaria 13, Athens 15 there. Istanbul 11 degrees with their fair share of the country in rain and snow parts, depending on where you live in the country. Bucharest 5, Chistu 4, Vienna at 8 degrees, Prague at 5, Berlin a very cold 0 degrees, as well as Warsaw 1 and Kiev 1 there. You can see there's a big snowstorm coming across there on Riyadh, across into Moscow there at 4 degrees, Volgograd at 0 there. Oslo there at -9, St. Petersburg at -13, and our friends over in Iceland -5 currently is what they're experiencing there. Just scrolling a bit further down, we've got Paris, the capital of France, at 9 degrees, as well as Brussels at 7 degrees respectfully. Now, these are the temperatures you should be experiencing right now. Now, for those who weren't here yesterday, just a reminder, tonight is going to be very, very cold. If you live in the UK, tonight, regardless of where you're living, it is going to be a very, very cold night. I cannot stress this enough. Please, if you can afford to put the heating on, please put the heating on tonight, because it's going to be cold. It really is going to be it's going to be a cold night. It's going to be one of those that you haven't had a really cold night for quite a while. I can't stress that enough, guys. This is the temperatures we're experiencing right now for all the way up till 12 o'clock. You got a fair share of some snow parts and rain parts here. At the moment, London, Cardiff 9 and 9, Manchester 4, Dublin 5, Belfast 4, and Edinburgh 3. Some of you guys in Scotland will already be experiencing some of that chill, but it's going to drop even more there, guys. But if I move a bit further on to 6 o'clock here, you can see already these temperatures are already dropping. Here, fair share of showers and snows in some parts of it is going to be dry as well. But if I go overnight, later in the evening, even at 9 o'clock there, you can see temperatures there are going to be as low as 0 degrees. Let's zoom in and just have a quick look at some gauges of some of the temperatures we're going to be experiencing. This is set for 9 o'clock tonight. These are what some of the temperatures we're going to be experiencing. At the moment, in parts of England, it's 5 and 4 degrees in some parts there. A bit lower in some other parts down in the southwest of England. Wales here, southern Wales, Cardiff 4, some temperatures as low as 1 degrees, but you can see those temperatures 3 and 2 going to be very cold indeed. Moving up to the north of Wales again, 2 and 1 degrees. Even if I move up to the Midlands, you can see these temperatures are going to be very, very cold here. Again, 2, 1, 2, 1, 0 in some parts. As we move further north of England into the south of southern Scotland, you can see those temperatures dropping into the minuses parts here in parts of Scotland here. Glasgow and Edinburgh, 0 degrees here. You can see those temperatures going to be really dropping off here. So just, yeah, and even some parts in the Highlands there, you can see as cold as -6 degrees there. Inverness there, 0 degrees respectfully there. So you can see those temperatures are really going to drop off. Let's just check our friends across the pond in Northern Ireland here. This is the temperatures they're going to be experiencing. So even they are going to get very, very cold temperatures as well, as low as -2. Londonderry there, 2 degrees, respectfully there. So we can see those temperatures are really going to drop. Let me just set that there. So going overnight, this is some of the temperatures. Again, they may drop even further overnight here. So again, -1 degrees in some parts, 0 degrees. London 3, Cardiff 2. So the temperatures aren't going to be as brutal in London and southern Wales from the looks of it in comparison to the Midlands and North. It's still going to be cold nonetheless. So if you are in the Midlands, if you are in the North, again, can't stress this enough. Heating, extra blankets, wrap yourself up warm, put on the fire, whatever you need to do, stay warm tonight. Obviously, if you have friends and neighbours or whoever that lives on their own, just knock on their door, make sure they're aware, just let people know about tonight, because not everyone pays attention to the weather, not everyone pays attention to these things. Just make sure, especially if people are living alone, just make sure they've got everything they need so that they'll be all right for tonight. So in the morning, that temperatures will be staying the same. Even on Saturday morning, these temperatures, they're not changing anytime soon. Yep, it'll be dry, but it'll be very, very cold here for tomorrow morning. Lunchtime, there will be a bit of an increase at lunchtime, so you can see those temperatures. They do start to increase a little bit there, but even throughout the whole morning, Saturday morning, it's pretty much going to be very, very cold. But yes, we will get an increase in temperatures there. Moving a bit further on into about lunchtime there. Temperatures, they get as high as some parts of 7 degrees, as high as 5 degrees. So there will be an increase in temperature. So temperatures will go up throughout the day tomorrow, which is good here. But they will drop back down again a little bit overnight here. So we can see here for some 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock tomorrow evening here, those temperatures are dropping as low as 4 and 3 degrees. Not as cold as tonight will be, but it'll still be cold nonetheless. And obviously, as you can see there, there's this rain snowstorm that's going to be coming in, as I'm sure you guys, we talked about yesterday. For those who didn't see it there, going a bit further over, this is what we're expecting. They're forecasting overnight. So even though it's going to be dry in most parts, so Northern Ireland and Ireland are experiencing the rain and snow, but as for the rest of the UK, there we can see going overnight. Yeah, pretty much from overnight into the next morning, you're gonna probably wake up and find some snow outside your home if you haven't already got snow outside your home. Most of it is going to drop. Most of it will probably settle in Scotland, northern parts of England, parts of Wales, southern Scotland, southern England. Probably not as much. It always doesn't really settle as well there, but it will be very, very cold again there. But just moving it a bit further over, this is what they're forecasting overnight on Sunday night. So here, but most of us should be in bed. If you're doing a late night overnight shift or whatever on a Saturday to Sunday night, I shouldn't need to tell you this, just take all the precautions, take all the necessary things. Bear in mind as well, and I think someone mentioned it yesterday as well, which is also very important as well, because we're getting snow and we're also getting rain, we're also could get very slippery conditions on the pavements there as well. So when you wake up Sunday morning, it may be the case that even though maybe the snow hasn't settled, it could be very icy. The conditions could be very dangerous. So just please take your time wherever you're going. Give yourself time, whether it's going to the shops, whether it's going to whatever. If you have things that you need to pick them up on Saturday, so you don't need to pick them up on Sunday, so you don't need to go out on Sunday. If you have to go out for whatever reason on Sunday, give yourself plenty of time. Just give yourself plenty of time so you can avoid any kind of slip ups or anything, because the last thing you want to do is slip on the ice, because it can be very dangerous. But you can see here on Sunday morning, this is what they're forecasting Sunday morning. Again, temperatures aren't so bad there. You can see in the morning, so they actually increase a little bit overnight into the morning there. But again, it's not going to be as cold as it will be tonight, but still going to be cold nonetheless. But yeah, Sunday morning, this is what we're expecting. There will be some scattered snow parts and rain in some parts, but most of it's going to be dry there, guys. Most of it's going to be dry there. But you can see those temperatures really increasing back up there. Look, you can see there, Edinburgh 7, Belfast 8, Dublin 9, Manchester 8, Cardiff and London 10 degrees. So you can see the temperatures are coming back up for lunchtime there. So the temperatures do come pinging back up a little bit there. And there's some rain forecast around where I am on Sunday as well. But just we'll have a quick look at the next couple of days, because obviously I'm not going to be here to give you the weather forecast. But obviously these are subject to change. So as for Monday, guys, this is what the temperatures are looking like here. Temperatures aren't so bad. Most of it looks like it's going to be forecast to be dry. You may get some snow and possible some rain spots here and there. But most of Monday, it looks like it's going to be pretty dry. The temperatures aren't going to be too bad depending on where you are. It'll be a bit cold, but not as cold as the last couple of days from the looks of it there. Going into Tuesday here. Okay, so it looks like here from Monday going into Tuesday here. Looks like we're going to have a bit of a temperature drop. If you're up in Scotland there, you can see as low as 1 degree. Belfast doubling 3 and 4 degrees. Manchester 5 there. But yeah, it looks like overnight there's going to be another drop in temperatures. So Monday night, just be prepared to wrap up warm again. Just assume tonight's temperatures are going to be the same on Monday night. Just make that assumption, guys. Just basically do that there. It's my best thing. Temperatures will come back up a little bit there, but it looks like there's going to be another. So it looks like on Tuesday there. It looks like there's going to be another snowstorm on Tuesday. Looks like it's going to hit. And that's actually going to hit it looks like it's going to hit over Tuesday afternoon, evening / it looks like there. So pretty much going to hit the whole of the UK there. Rain and snow again. So we're going to have this again on Tuesday, guys. We're going to have this again on Tuesday. So not just on Sunday, we're going to have this again on Tuesday. That could be very problematic depending on where you are here. So yeah, Tuesday 6 o'clock, pretty much the Midlands, northern England, as well as most of Scotland, is going to be experiencing rain and snow there. It's going to come through overnight as well, and you can see those temperatures are quite low as well again. So please be careful, guys. Please be careful. This is what they're forecasting for Wednesday. Here, again, very cold temperatures again, but it will come back up again, those temperatures on Wednesday again. And then it looks like Wednesday night into Thursday, some rain showers that they are forecasting there. But I cannot give you any more than that. So looks like, yeah, Tuesday, basically be prepared. Tuesday night, yeah, please be prepared for that. And we're going to get the same thing as we get tonight on Sunday. Yeah, that's forecast for Sunday there as well. So yeah, just be prepared for that stuff, guys. Sorry I took so long with the weather, but I felt like that's really, really important, that especially those conditions, guys, just to be prepared there. So apologies I went longer than usual, and it looks like someone who I didn't think they would be home this early. They said they weren't going to be home till 1 o'clock, and they're here early. I'll deal with that in a minute. I'll have to deal with that after the live stream. Okay, guys, let's get into the news, because there's a lot of news to cover. So many of Gaza historic and religious sites are now in ruin. This is from the Associated Press here. Second US aircraft carrier is being sent to the Middle East, AP sources say, as Iran tensions are reaching high. 2 Israelis have been charged with using classified military information to place bets. So there's Israeli soldiers who are placing bets, which when it comes to the killing of innocent Palestinians. So not only do they take pleasure in killing innocent people, but they also making money off it as well by betting as well. And this is soldiers we're talking about. Transatlantic tensions in focus at annual Munich security guarantee gathering opens as well. Experts say screening tips in Nancy Gopher's disappearance is tremendous and critical work there. A 54-year-old personal injury lawyer from Minnesota just became the oldest U.S. Winter Olympian. That's awesome. 54 years old. Fantastic. Fantastic. Congratulations to them. Really mean that. A judge has dismissed California's deportation case for Mexican father of 3 U.S. Marines apparently there. Yeah, so it seems like the Department of Homeland Security trying to dismiss someone who is a father of 3 U.S. Marines. Wow. So even though, yeah, that's quite unbelievable. Scientific studies calculates climate change as health danger, while Trump calls it a scam. Yeah, Trump still thinks health. Yeah, well, he's in the oil and gas lobby, obviously, of course. I look at the false claims made by Trump's administration as it revokes a key scientific finding. They don't care. Like, if you're a climate scientist, you're no point working in America, because the Trump administration considers you nothing more than a scam. You're better off moving to Europe or China and other parts of the world where they actually take it seriously. It's no point there's no point giving your time to in America, I'm afraid. What if just 1 in 10 people change how they eat, drive, eat, or shop? Yeah, good luck telling Texans to cut down on meat, because they're not going to do that. Good luck telling them that, guys. Good luck with that. Indonesia readiness up to 8,000 troops in the first firm commitment to Gaza's peacekeeping force. Again, I thought was it? Oh no, I keep mixing Indonesia up with Turkey. I know that Turkey is not wanted in Gaza there, but 8,000 troops from Indonesia to help maintain the peace. I really hope I really hope this actually does work. But again, I'm not. I still think it's going to go wrong somewhere because it's Israel here. Puerto Rico flag is flying high this week, but who gets to hold it is complicated, apparently. Trump boasts over £1.5 billion in political funds. How he chooses to spend it could rock the midterms. Professor in the Epstein files said that they hope friendship would lead to research funding. Okay, sure. California photographer is on the quest to photograph hundreds of native bees. Lovely, 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 lovely. I've always wanted to. I keep telling myself I'm going to buy a proper professional camera. I still haven't done it, guys. I really want to at some point. You know, I used to do a lot of photography when I was younger as a child, but I never really made it into something. I can still start it if I wanted to. I just need to buy one. My phone is not very good at taking photos. I need a proper camera. Boat gets caught in ocean wave and capsized off Santa Cruz there. Oh my god. As ICE expands review of crime committed by agents show how their power can be abused. Watch the moment at Greenland Slag. Dog Slee steals AP camera. That's an old video. We've seen that one already. For Valentine's Day, we asked people all over the world about love. Look, I'm going to just say this right now about Valentine's Day, guys. Valentine's Day is not a day you're supposed to. It's not a day you're supposed to buy hundreds of gifts for your partner. Valentine's Day is a reminder of how much you love each other. That's what it's supposed to be. If you're somebody who's single, if you want to go out there and find love, I really wish you good luck. But if you're somebody who is in a relationship, it should be a reminder that you should love that person every single day and not just one in particular day. And you shouldn't need to brush like this idea that you buy them lavishly loads of gifts and all that kind of stuff. No, don't buy into that stuff. Don't buy into that stuff. Like, it should be every day. It should be every day. Is my belief. Like, we buy each other, me and my partner, cards, but that's about it. We don't go like over the top, and neither should you, in my view. You should not go over the top for Valentine's Day, because you should be loving each other every day, not just one day. Right, let's have a look at. Oh my god, I'm running through so much stuff already, and we already got less than half an hour here. Of course, the High Court rule bans on Palestine action is unlawful. Let's have a look at some pieces and see what they're saying about it here. Joining calls for change made against protesters to be dropped is Green Party leader Zach Polanski said. Zach Polanski said that the court has ruled that the government's authorization ban on Palestine action was lawful. It's now time for the government to stop criminalizing the people protesting the genocide and start ending the UK's complicity. Over 2,700 people so far have been arrested for holding a sign opposing genocide and the prescription of Palestine action. Those already charged should have their charges dropped, and the Crown Prosecution Service should discontinue action against all those arrested, he said. I couldn't agree more. Well said from Zach there. Well said from Zach. Greenpeace co-director said that the government's decision to ban a protest group is the stuff of dystopian novels. Said arresting hundreds of thousands of protesters, many of them pensioners who were simply holding signs, is the stuff of satire. Hopefully these rulings will deliver a much-needed reality check. Yeah, Israel are not happy with this, by the way, as well. And by the way, Israel will want to obviously more control here. And the International UK Law and Human Rights Director described the ruling as a vital affirmation to the right of protest. Thank God we have high courts that follow the laws and whatnot. It's called on the Metropolitan Police Commissioner. Stop the War Coalition has called on Mark Rowney and Hope Vet Cooper to resign. They're not going to do that. They should resign, but they're not going to do that. Before the ban, Palestine Action had used direct action to target Israeli-linked companies in the UK, from Occupy Burns to blocking access to more disruptive measures such as spray paint and damaging equipment. It's particularly focused on demonstrations against factories in Israeli weapon manufacturer E-Bit Systems, which a group prescribes as a website for its main target. Again, how is that terrorism? How is that terrorism? Yeah, since the ban. Yeah, it's just been like, I really mean this sincerely. It's been a complete and total bloody waste of police time when they could be doing so much more important things. You know, much more important things. Instead of a card, says in the Duck Mail. Thank you so much for the super chat, Mel. Thank you so much for your support. Have you cast your vote on what we should name the duck, guys? Have you cast your vote? Remember, we're going to be finding out the result at the end of the live stream, guys. So make sure you cast your vote. Very, very important, guys. What else is here? High Court were on 2 grounds, including... So the High Court upheld 2 grounds of challenge, including that the ban was a disproportionate interference with the right to freedom of expression and a right to freedom of assembly. The president of the King's Bench Division, Dame Victoria Sharp, shitting with Mr. Justice, said that Palestine Action is an organisation that promotes its political cause through criminality and encouragement of criminality, but that prescription was still disproportionate. In the 46-page judgment, she said a very small number of his actions have amounted to terrorist action with the definition of the Terrorism Act of 2000. This is what I meant by, this is what I said, because in the Terrorism Act of 2000, vandalisation and destruction of property is considered terrorism under the UK law. Home Secretary Shabir Mohammed said she was disappointed by the ruling. She plans to appeal it. She said, I'm disappointed by the court's decision and disagree with the notion that banning this terrorist organisation is disproportionate. I personally disagree. The prescription of Palestine Action follows a rigorous and evidence-based decision-making process endorsed by Parliament. Right, I need to stop her right there. This was not endorsed by Parliament. It was you slammed the organisation in with other prescribed terrorist groups. Let's be clear about that. So it wasn't already fair. The prescription does not prevent peaceful protests against support of Palestinian cause. That's false. We know that's not true because we're seeing elderly people being picked up and taken away by the police. So I don't agree with that. Another point on which the court agrees. As a former Lord Chancellor, I have the deepest respect for our judiciary. Home Secretaries have retained our abilities. Yep. Ban will stay in place until the government decides on appeal. So the judges, yeah, this is what I said, guys. So the ban will remain in place while the government considers whether to appeal. So it's not as if the ban has been lifted based on this, guys. So it's really, really important to state that. Yeah. So it's really, really important to state that it's not exactly just all come through here, guys. Right. Let's see what else stories there are there. Reform UK's Kent Council faces extreme risk after passing its first budget. Councillors voted 3.99% council tax increase while mounting attack on the vulnerable opposition says. Reform Russia's Showcase Council in Kent faces extreme risk and instability, opposition politicians have warned after it passed its first budget. The party's councillors voted it through on Thursday night after their leaders announced a 3.99% council tax increase, which, by the way, they said they were going to cut taxes 1% point under the limit before a referendum was required, despite promising before their election win not to raise taxes. While it was described by council leader as a sensible low-budget tax, opposition parties said they left the council's reserves dangerously low, exposed a fragile financial risk totaling more than 410 million in local authority risk register. The vote was carried with 48 councillors in favour of the number who are still with reform after a period of turmoil in which several left large Farage blogs on the council with 26 and 1 abstained. The plan was described as a casino budget by Anthony Hook, the Liberal Democrat opposition leader, who brought along letters and leaflets delivered by Reform before last year's local election, which pledged to cut council tax. I love that. He put them in front of them. Here's your leaflet saying you guys were cutting council tax. Nice. Very, very good. I like that. Very good. Very good. It contains Kent County Council's highest exposure of financial risk. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Sticking the leaflets back in their face saying you guys lied to the people. You did lie. Absolutely. Well said. Well done there. Unfortunately, yeah, as long as they got control, really. But it's going to be a rough time for Kent, I'm afraid. The Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, urged to reassure MPs over public finances amid £6 billion a year extend cost there. Tony Blair's think tank accuses Ed Miliband of driving up energy prices there. I've got a short video dropping on that. NHS deal with AI firm Platineer called into question after official concerns revealed. Yep, but they don't care because they want to push through with it regardless. They're going to try and push through with it regardless of the problems with it. There. What else is there? Just other storms. UK weather. Obviously, the Arctic blast is coming, guys, as we talked about already. Paul Farrell seals largest payout in NatWest CEO since disgraced Fred Goodwin in 2006 there. First-time buyers enjoy the biggest choice of low deposit mortgages in the UK since 2008 there. As far as this story here, this is Tony Blair. Remember, Tony Blair is in with the oil and gas industries. This is why he's having a go at Ed Miliband, because Ed Miliband is bringing more green energy. That's why he's bashing Ed Miliband. Gender guidance for English primary school pupils permit the use of different pronouns there as well. There is a video for this if you guys are interested. I think I posted it on Discord. If I didn't, I apologize. But so last night, all the candidates had got to clash with each other. So Labour and Reform candidates clash over women's feeling threatened by far-right rhetoric. Anthony Stark tells Matthew Goodwin, who turned up to the event with security. Matthew Goodwin, all right, he turns up with security. Apparently, none of the other candidates turned up with security, but apparently he feels obligated to need to turn up to security. Yeah, and stating women are too scared to leave the house. So let me read a bit of this. Labour and Reform candidates came head-to-head at the hustings at Greater Manchester for the Galton-Denton by-election, with Labour's candidate saying women in the constituency were scared to leave the house because of her rival's rhetoric. Angel Stocky hit out on Reform's Matt Goodwin, who arrived at the offices at Manchester Evening News, which was hosting the event with security. Goodwin responded by saying he had very real threats on his life and suggested women were instead afraid because Labour was running a policy of open borders, which is putting women and girls at risk. As Sturrock said, Matthew, how can you sit there with a couple of security guards following you around when I just this morning was with a group of interfaith women representing our community who told me that our women in this constituency, they're scared to leave their house because of the rhetoric that you have been peddling. It was the fiercest clash at the event. I haven't had a chance to watch it, apologies, just for reference, which was attended by people living and working in the constituency, including doctors, college students and representatives from community and campaign groups. Goodwin says, I'm not going to be lectured by a Labour politician from a party that consistently fails to investigate the mass rape and sexual abuses of working class kids in the country for 13 years. What did Hannah say? The Green candidate Hannah Spencer to take a seat has said she had to be accompanied by security in the constituency after an incident where a very angry man shouted abuse. So already there's people who are mad at Hannah Spencer because they think that she's a threat to them. At the hustings, Spencer described her Reform rival as an academic buzz from the South, spreading the party's message of division. Yeah, it's important to remind people he's from St Albans. He's not around from the area. You spend so long, Matt, I think, researching far extremism that you did a little bit, you get a bit confused and thought you were reading from an instruction manual, she said. In return, Goodwin repeatedly criticised Spencer, saying that the Greens wanted to legalise all drugs, including crack cocaine and heroin. Yes, because drugs should be, they should be legalised. Because we should be looking at it as a treatment and an addiction of trying to help people, not treating them like criminals because they're addicted to them. Absolutely. And what should have been an easy question to round off an otherwise coherent events, the candidates were asked to name their favourite Oasis song as the Gallagher brothers drew up Burnage, which formed part of the constituency. Yeah, so I went, the video's about an hour long. I don't have the link here. If anyone's got a link to it, post it in the chat for people to check out. But I haven't had a chance to watch it. I don't know if I'll get a chance to watch it today, but I do recommend people do check it out if they get a chance to do so there. And thank you, Viper Scott, for the £2 super chat just to hit the goal. Yep, we're one super chat away from today's goal there, so I appreciate that, Viper Scott. Thank you so much for that. Let's go and have a look at Al Jazeera, see what they're saying here. BNP wins 2/3 of Bangladesh's seats. Jamaat are not satisfied with the court. Yeah, so there's been the elections in Bangladesh. The BNP, the Bangladesh National Party, winning 209 seats. There. Bangladesh's Electoral Commission senior has told Al Jazeera that they're waiting for the signed results sheets from 69 returning officers across the country. Once we receive all the sheets, we will issue the notification. We're trying to do so as early as possible. So yeah, it looks like the BNP have won the election in Bangladesh. They haven't had an election for a while, apparently, my understanding. BNP will seek extradition of ex-PM Hassana Palm official as well. They basically, the part, from my understanding, is that they promised the people stability is what they promised there. So, and I hope Bangladesh does get stability. I really, really do. Developing story, yep. Unlawful call set, yep. Obviously, Al Jazeera, we're going to cover that story. Russia suffers 32,000 casualties monthly. Ukraine's casualties, broken communities there. 32,000 monthly. Apparently, their recruitment drive in Russia is lower than the amount of people dying, as well as my understanding there. So they're recruiting less than they're recruiting less than the number of people dying each month in this war, according to Ukraine's intelligence services, is what they're understanding it. I don't know how real that is, but that's the reports that I'm seeing with regards to the conflict in Ukraine, just for reference there. Thank you, Peter, for the £2 super chat for the win. Thank you. Yes, for the confetti. Sorry, no confetti, guys, like Graham's channel, but thank you so much for that. Thank you to everyone who sent super chats. Greatly appreciated. Oh, George, thank you so much for the £5 super chat for a coffee. Thank you. I don't drink coffee. I might have a hot chocolate, though, there. Thank you so much, George. I really, really appreciate it. And good morning, Mandy. Hope you are doing well. Good to see you there. And you, George. Thank you so much for that super chat there. If it's legalised, surely that means cleaner drugs, cleaner methods, and more education on drugs. Just saying, Stephen Baker says. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, of course it does. And it's not in the black market. And if it's not in the black market, it's in our economy, which, guess what? It helps drive our economy again, because, so which is more money for the exchequer, which you would think they would want more of that as well. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Just again, a reminder, there will be no live streams at all next week. So all of that will really help support me, guys, because obviously, whenever I take a week off or wherever I'm not live streaming or whatnot, I don't get as much revenue, of course. I'll let you guys know at the end of the live stream, okay, what content is coming next week as well, or what my plan is between now and Sunday, because I've got until Sunday to get content done. I should be back actually Friday afternoon, but I'm not going to be able to live stream or anything for reference there. Let's have a look at other stories, because I don't want to take up too much time. A Palestinian cancer patient stuck in Egypt for 2 years returns to Gaza. It's finally reunited with his matriarch, who returned to the Rafah crossing. So years wait the arrival of the stitched shoulder soldier eagerly waiting for the bus. For nearly 2 years they've been counting down the days. That's lovely. Good return home. Some families have been reunited after the Rafah crossing opening. That's lovely to read. That's very good to read. Very happy about that. I'm glad that 2 years is a long time for some people. Sudan protecting Africa from foreign interference in the war in the RSF, says the FM there. Israel withholding Palestinian authority revenues, depriving Palestinians of proper learning. Palestinian education has been destroyed by Israel's policy of withholding customs revenue from Palestinian authorities. Yeah, they're trying to deny education. Basically, anything to destroy the West Bank. Anything of it, yeah, that's absolutely depriving. And again, the world is turning a blind eye to it, which, is heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Right, let's have a look at some other stories, guys. The Times here. Let's have a look at the Times. A NATO ambassador in a row over lover was promoted by an old boys network. Gavin Williamson becomes the second former defense secretary to reveal concerns about NATO's envoy there. Rayner urges embattled Prime Minister to do better on hospitality. I agree. I absolutely agree. Our hospitality needs to be protected. That's really, really important there. Children will be allowed to change gender at school. I can't comment on it because I've not read on it, guys, that story. I have seen that headline. I just haven't had a chance to look into it. So I don't really want to touch too much on it. Because obviously, as you guys know, gender stuff is a very sensitive topic. My position should be obviously that it's a, I really want to make sure that the kids are able to be able to do what's best for them. But at the same time, sometimes kids don't always know what's best for them, and sometimes the parents know better. It's the best response I have. But I've not read on that, so I don't really want to dwell too much on that story there. To end number 10's Boys Club, Starmer must do more than just hire women. Labour to ban foreign party donors unless they make money in the UK. Yeah, we saw that story yesterday. Knives Out frustrating. Amit Cabot Fury over foul coup. Is he going to fail? Is he going to get kicked, West Streeting? I mean, it would be nice, but I don't think that's going to happen personally. NHS waiting lists remain high. According to the Times data, this is where we're at the moment. 7.29 million. So, yeah, since 2020, it's gone up and up and up to its highest levels. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Its lowest point was Labour in January 2010. And you can just see from this NHS waiting list here graph of just what the Conservatives have done. You can just see it there. It looks like Labour have... It's just kind of steady since they've come into power. Like, it's declined a bit. It's declined a bit. It's just according to their graph. Yeah, the source is from NHS England for reference there. That's NHS England. It's declined a bit. It's just not enough. Obviously, I'd like to see it zoom drop, but I mean, they are making some progress, I guess you could say from that, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot realistically there. Epstein advised to bet on sterling before 2014 Scottish referendum, apparently. SMP's housing rules make Glasgow a magnet for asylum seekers. Take it with a pinch of salt. This is from the Times, guys. Peter Murrell's accused of embezzling £460,000 in 8 court charges there. Don't care about the royal family. Healthcare. Fake Viagra warning after police seized 20 million illegal pills. Oh my god. Don't buy this stuff online. Go into a chemist and buy. I know that kind of stuff is just like, I know you're uncomfortable asking those questions, but generally, like, if you're somebody that buys this kind of stuff, just buy it in the chemist and the pharmacy. They don't ask questions. They don't laugh at you. They don't say anything like that. Just buy them in safe places. It's best. Just do it that way, guys. Just do it that way. I can't, like, just don't do it online. It's just dangerous, guys. And the side effects, you don't know what the side effects are as well. You know, honestly. I know people you know, I used to work for Superdrug, so I've had customers approach me asking for that kind of stuff, and I don't mock them or anything. Like, I generally like to show them where it is, you know, because many of them feel embarrassed about it, you know. So, you know, just please don't buy. Yeah, please don't buy it from illegal places, please. Weight loss jabs. I'm against any kind of weight loss jabs, me personally. More than 12-hour A&E waits than ever. How does your hospital fare? Starmer on promise to fix the NHS a year on. Has he succeeded? Simple answer, no. However, I do also accept it takes time to fix it as well. And West Streeting has not done enough, in my opinion, when it comes to our National Healthcare Service. That is just my opinion. Let's look at a piece of one we haven't looked at for a while. The New York Times, the Epstein and the hidden world of the unaccountable elite. The search continues in the documents for ironclad criminal conduct, but the story of a sexual predator given a free ride by the ruling class has already emerged. Yep. Goldman's top lawyer departs amid revelations about her ties to Epstein. Catherine Rumada, a former Obama administration lawyer, is out of Goldman Sachs after emails revealed her years of friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Another person who got the boot. Ex-Prime Minister of Norway charged with corruption linked to Epstein there as well. How the Times is digging into millions of pages of the Epstein files. Trump's administration erases government's power to fight climate change. That's going to take a long time to fix back up. If they even are going to ever fix it back up. The name at the heart of the Gabby whistleblower dispute, Jared Kushner. Federal judge blocks Trump's plans to cut $600 million in health funds. US aircraft carrier will be sent to the Middle East from Venezuela, officials say. Second one. There's already one in the Middle East. Second one. Because I've reported on it before in the past. Second one. Partial federal shutdown shrinks congressional presence in Munich. Judge temporarily blocks Hegseth from punishing Kelly for video, apparently. From exile to power. The rise of Bangladesh's new leader. What's this? That's the medal count in the Winter Olympics. Italy with the most, with 17 there. Norway 14, US 14 Austria 12 and Japan at 10 there. Europe worries Trump poses a threat to its financial and tech sovereignty. Yeah, it should do. Americans are paying the bills for tariffs despite Trump's claims. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. It's not hard to figure that out. Democrats block funding bill for Homeland Security shutdown looms. The bill contains none of the restrictions on immigration enforcement that Democrats demand in order to fund the department. Prosecutors say federal officials gave wrong information about ICE shooting. The top federal prosecutor in Minnesota asked the judge to drop charges against the immigrant who was shot by an ICE agent, citing new evidence apparently there. Trump's administration to end the surge of immigration agents in Minnesota. Thank God. That's really good news. CIA video appeals to potential spies in China's military. U.S. agencies seeking Chinese officials who are frustrated with corruption in the People's Liberation Army. Yeah, just make it open to them. Just make it blatantly open to the Chinese government. Yeah, we're looking to recruit some CIA agents within your military. We're just making it public. Honestly, you shouldn't be making it public. But to be fair, the People's Liberation Army, of course, they're going to be expecting that anyway, even if you don't say it publicly. But you're just kind of making it a bit more obvious that you're doing that. Or they could be saying that to deflect. Guys, possibly. I'm sorry I'm not reading too much of the chat. It's just because I want to cover as much as I can within the time we got left, guys. So I do apologise. Sir Chris Walmat, forced out as head of civil servants. The cabinet office said the move is by mutual agreement, but it follows months of negative media reports about his performance. For reform replacing old fuddy-duddy Tory party, said Farage. No, you are becoming the Conservative Party. You've got 23 both former and current Conservative MPs in your party. Starmer agrees with Lisa Landy over government's challenges, says number 10. Welsh Tory leader staff member defects to reform on the eve of the conference. Two senior aides to the leader of the Conservatives in the Welsh Parliament have defected to Reform UK just days before the Tory party conference. Ouch. The defections emerged on the eve of Friday's conference, where the leader, Darren Miller, will tell members that Reform isn't a serious party and it's more interested in selling merchandise than forming a government. Two staff members will join Reform literally on the day before it. Oh dear, they're just, and they're not serious. They're just not serious anymore. Vaping in cars with children could be banned under new plans. Why is that not already a ban? That should be banned. Vaping could be banned in cars carrying children as well as in playgrounds and outside schools, according to government plans to protect youngsters from secondhand smoking and vaping. 100% agree. Yeah, 100% agree. I don't think. I 100% agree with this. Let's keep vaping, keep it away from children. That's it. Very simple. Plans which are subject to a 12-week public consultation seeks to prevent smoking, vaping, and head to use heated tobacco in these settings across England. Indoor spaces where smoking is already banned could also become a vape and heating tobacco free under the proposals, as would areas outside hospitals. West Streeting says children and patients should not have to suffer because others choose to smoke. Yeah, I don't know about banning it completely indoor in places about that. I'm still skeptical of that. But keeping them away from children, not letting children see that kind of stuff, yeah, 100% agree. And yeah, this is pretty obvious. You shouldn't be doing it with the kids in the car anyway, guys. Nurses and other NHS staff to get 3.3% pay rise there indeed. We are running out of time here, so I'm just going to refresh something. Excuse me. I think we've already decided what the name of the duck is from the looks of it here. Yeah, looks like we've already made the decision. Oh, excuse me. Okay, guys, I know we've got 2 minutes left, but I'm going to stop it. I'm just going to go through a couple of things before we go here, guys, because I just want to... don't want to go too much over time if I can help it here. So, let me make sure this is the... no, not that one. I had a good one. There we go. It's covering the screen, but it's not too bad. Okay, guys, so here is the results of what we should... Where are you, duck? There you are. Well, we've got a name for him now. We've got he or she a name for our new mascot here, which, by the way, you can use the emoji in if you are a YouTube member. So no one voted for Duck Left or Emo Duck, Unquiet Duck, Viper Duck, Fluffy Duck, Quackers Oats. Where did Quackers Oats come from? Whose idea was that one? Quackers Oats. El Ducko got 17% of the vote. El Ducko. That would have been a cool name. Ducky Longlegs, no. Indie Duck Davy would have been a very nice one for our good friends at the two Davies. That would have been a nice one there. Duck and Elite, I would not have wanted that at all. So I'm so glad no one picked that one. Dabble, there. Dabble. Quacky, no. Quackers at 50%. Gemini at 8%. I would have struggled with that name anyway. Puddle, no one like her. What the Duck at 25% there. So yeah, it looks like Quackers is officially your name. Yeah, so welcome Quackers to the team. So yes, thank you guys for your support, for your voting there for the ruling of democracy. But we now elect you as Quackers. So welcome to the team, Quackers. Enjoy your part there. So yes, it is now formally known name as Quackers, and I'm probably gonna and there's a high chance, guys, that I'm gonna forget when I come back from holiday. So it'll be your job to remind me of the name. Okay, guys. So again, just before I go, because I don't want to take up too much time, guys, because I know people want to have lunch and all that kind of stuff. So let me quickly remind you guys. My next live stream will not be until next week, Monday. So that will be Monday, the 23rd of February. That will be the next time I will go live again. That will be Monday, the 23rd of February for another Good Morning Show. That's when I'll be live again. There is no live streams whatsoever next week, guys. I just won't have time to do them. I'm going to be away. So there'll be no live streams at all, guys. So I do apologize for you guys there. I will say, though, so during my week off, I've already scheduled and I've already recorded content for Monday to Friday for you guys. So you're going to get every 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. there's going to be a video dropping. It's going to be either a funny video or both a funny video and a good news video. From Daisy from Satire News will be dropping. She will be dropping some videos every day for you guys between Monday and Friday, as well as I'll be dropping a good news story for you guys every day as well between Monday and Friday. So you've got that guaranteed content. As for whether I drop any other content, remains to be seen. I want to record some short videos between Monday and Friday as well. Whether I get to do that, I don't know. But I've got between today and Sunday to record that for you guys. But I also have some wrestling content I need to record as... Well, not record, that I need to produce. That does take some time as well. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. But there will be content dropping at least over the next couple of days. The cat posts are going to be dropping for members, and I'll post some polls maybe over the next couple of days for you guys as well. So you got that as well there. Where am I going? We got a surprise. So we're going to surprise my brother. He thinks that he and his family are going just on a holiday together. But what he doesn't realize is that a bunch of other family members are joining him for it. So he doesn't know that. And we're going to surprise him on Monday evening when we arrive there, basically. So it's his 40th birthday coming up in the next month. So it's the big 4-0, guys. So guys, thank you all for coming along. Thank you guys for all your comments. Appreciate everyone giving their time to be here today. Really appreciate it. Obviously, while I'm not available for live streams next week, guys, do check out Daily Blase, Big Mad Studios. Check out all the YouTubers I've got linked in the description. Van Man Talks, Graham Price of Power to the People. There's lots of other great YouTubers you can check out while I'm away as well. But obviously, if you can, please do check out whatever content I drop there. If you can, just leave your comments, likes and videos, and all that stuff, guys. Really does help support the channel for me. Obviously, of course, while I'm away, I'm not expecting. If in the unlikely event of Keir Starmer resigning while I'm away, I will do a reaction video on holiday. But that's the only thing that will make me make me upload a video in an emergency, guys. So, which I don't think is going to happen, but if it does, I will do a response to it. But enjoy the rest of your week, wherever you got this weekend and whatever your plans are next week, guys. Again, please stay warm, look after yourselves. As of right now, Phil Morehouse is live of a different bias on his YouTube channel. So if you guys want to go head over there, you can do. The agenda at 1 o'clock with Phil Morehouse and Graham Hughes. If you guys want to check out that, a live stream at 1 o'clock as well. I don't know if Witchigoff is going live later on this afternoon. If she is, do just keep an eye out on her YouTube channel. Later on today at 5 o'clock is Daily Blase's Friday Frolics. Do join him for that. It's a great live stream. Lots of fun and laughter, guys. Highly recommend it. Even if you've never seen Daily Blase before, do check it out. It's a lot of fun. A. Thompson will be going live a bit later on as well, and Max Robespierre at 8:30. So if you guys can support any of these great YouTubers and whatnot, please do. It'd be greatly appreciated. So on your way out, guys, if you can for me, please hit that like button, share us across social media, subscribe if you haven't already. Do check out Rumble and Patreon for exclusive content. As for content on those platforms, there won't be any dropping at all next week, guys. That will be, just won't have time for that. So I do apologize for those on there, but just for reference there. But I have got content for this week. If you guys want to check out content for this week, you can check that out on those platforms as well. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.